Guess we're calling this series My Muses, because y'all are my muses. Basically a series where anyone who wants to be involved raises their hand by leaving a comment on a certain post I'll put up on Patreon. Put all those names in a random picker tool thing on the internet somewhere. And whoever gets picked, we just chat like normal people, socialize on social media, you know, regular stuff. And as I'm getting to know you, certain things go off on my head. I just let myself be inspired by conversation, whether it's shallow or deep. And then over the course of a few weeks to maybe a couple months, I just work on a song that's completely inspired by you and our conversations. So the first one I did was for V, and she was the first one. There's no random picker tools, a surprise. I just kidnapped her and told her, hey, I'm doing this for you. This is episode 2 of My Muses. If you can think of a better name for it, let me know. And this one is for Noura. Now, what's messed up about this is I had a song. I had a goddamn song ready, and then that's when my computer crashed. It was like the meteor event that hit the earth and wiped out almost all life on earth, all the dinosaurs, 99.99% of them gone. Now all we got is pigeons and shit, a crocodile or two. In the same way, I lost like everything, yo, like all my recordings, all the songs I was working on for the last 15 years. That's a long time. That's longer than some of my regrets. And one of the songs I lost was Noura's song. So I had to remake it, but probably was a blessing in disguise, because after I was already working on it, she mentioned that she wishes she could have told me earlier that she's actually really into violins. And it was kind of too late. Like the beat was already in place with it. There was no room for violins. At least I wasn't skilled enough to be able to pull that off. But since I'm starting over, I went violin heavy on this bitch, and I actually like this more. So you'll notice the violins, if you play violin, doesn't sound like violin parts. That's because it's not. I don't play violin, bro. I got the MIDI file from playing on my keyboard. I nudged a bunch of shit, put it into like not a software. Is it a software synth if it has violin sounds too? Put it in some software instrument thing. Gave it some pretty simple processing. Like not too much compression, just touch. Put on some good reverbs on there. 1, 2, 3 reverbs. Drums were mad simple. Some of the beats that I did not lose in the great happening of December 2024 were from my MPC, and I thought it'd be cute if I did the drum sequence using my MPC. I didn't feel like looking for the cables and shit, so I just did a simple like boom bap type shit, layered it simply with the percussive sounds. Now the real fun part for me, and the part that everyone's gonna probably care about the least, is I was fucking cutting a rug with the bass guitar. Like I was on one. I was just in a flow state, and the bass guitar may sound random. It's not very properly arranged, I guess. I think I just pretended like I was some master bass improviser, which I'm not, and then I just started playing along the drums and the violin and such. I processed that simply too. I processed that with kind of like my little secret sauce. It's not that crazy, just certain combination of compressors, a plugin named R-Bass, bass lane, and voltage amps bass. I think I got kind of an interesting sound out of that. Well, what I learned, I'm getting to know her. She's a hard worker, but work makes her miserable sometimes. Noura often thinks, what am I even trying to do with life? That thought apparently hits her damn near every day. She's in an environment where she's expected to be successful immediately, and there's just no time for experimenting with your life, trying and failing on different things, trying and failing. And it just creates this pressure, which I'm sure she owns, but there's just a little part of her that maybe does want to explore a little bit. For fun, she likes books, anime, music, dancing, and sniffing drugs. I made that last one up.
Because drugs are bad, okay?
She told me, man, you have no idea how much I want to go somewhere, anywhere really. Like I could study abroad for free because of my government programs, but it's just more complicated than that for me. It's a whole cultural thing, and I just got this feeling from her of wanderlust, I guess. Maybe that's the lowest hanging fruit from that information so far. That's what I got. She told me 2 of her recent favorite books. One of them's Norwegian Wood by Haruki, and Blindness by Saramago. Norwegian Wood is about some person recalling his youth after hearing the Beatles song Norwegian Wood, which I didn't even know was a song by the Beatles. And the narrative shifts to someone's college days, exploring themes of love, loss, mental health. Blindness, from looking into it, it looks like one of those disturbing novels. It explores the collapse of society in the wake of an unexplained epidemic of blindness. A bunch of characters navigate a world that's plunged into chaos, and the novel serves as a stark allegory for societal issues exploring how quickly social norms can break down in the face of crisis. I like that. It critically examines human behavior, government response to emergencies, and the thin veneer of civilization. Man, I think about that kind of shit sometimes already. Noura and I joke about starting a crying club with how much life shit we unpack together. She loves naps but wish that they didn't take any time. 24 hours are not enough in a day, which I feel that too. She asked my astrological sign, but actually doesn't know anything about astrology. She comes from a culture where the kids just don't leave their families. And I get the vibe that she's like Bilbo looking out the window, wanting to see Middle Earth, but she also is more than happy to do her duty for her family, for her loved ones, and do what she has to do. Overall, she just came off as someone who has a lot going on upstairs in the brain, you feel me? A mover, a shaker. Somebody who longs, almost kind of like a more confident, charismatic, grounded version of The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. If y'all seen that movie, and he gets to go on this adventure in the film and stuff. So the beat I was making was kind of more on the longing tip. And in my mind, so this is something I do sometimes. Maybe some of you keyboardists know what I'm talking about. When you're just kind of like noodling around on the keyboard, sometimes I pretend my left hand is somebody and my right hand is somebody else. So I might pretend that my left hand is myself and my right hand is my father or whatever person that I wish I could have a conversation with, but I can't. And that we are talking to each other finally, airing out everything through the keys. And I won't necessarily do it in a question and answer format that some musicians will be familiar with, but it'll be pretty close. It's still, in my mind, it's conversational, but by the time it's on wax, it's not really going to feel like a conversation or a question and answer. So in my mind, the song was like me and Noura's conversations. The violin was like Noura's voice and everything she was telling me. And the bass guitar was my voice, what I was telling her. And sometimes she took the front seat of the convo. Sometimes I took the front seat. Sometimes I chime in just a little bit. And sometimes she chimes in just a little bit while I'm talking. Creatively, that was my process for how this song came to be. Very simple, it's very minimal. I've recently been listening to albums on the Patreon that were minimal but beautiful, and I kind of wanted to do the same, I guess. So without further ado, here is Noura.
5 months later.
Hey Nora, miss me? So this video was done months ago. Posted the Patreon version of it about 5 months ago. Nora saw, she commented on it, and I told her I'd respond in the YouTube video. Things got away from me a little bit. Time management sort of dissolved, but I knew this was something I was always gonna do. It just took way longer than I wanted it to, so. Oh my God, I love it. Do you really, or are you just saying that? Because like, let's say you hated it, like, of course you would say you love it anyway. Now, I don't know what to say and where to start, but I really loved the beat and how it made me feel. I loved how you played it over the sunset view with the girl on the bus, because this scenery describes my perfect moment, being alone, in peace, with the beautiful view and listening to a chill beat. I literally couldn't resist laying back and closing my eyes, meaning it probably put her to sleep. You could thank my sister for those visuals. I explained it to her. I explained everything that I learned about you as we were getting to know each other, and kind of something that she came up with. She also said that she thought you were gorgeous and that you should put yourself out there more. You know how I would just be saying whatever, and I really didn't expect that you'd actually pay this much attention to the details. I was touched, really. Where on this doll did I touch you? Also, I'm so sorry about your computer. Man, I try not to think about it. There is one beat in particular that I really didn't want to lose, and I don't know if I can recreate it. It was a really special moment in regards to how I made it. But I'm a little bit glad, you selfish bitch, that you got to redo the song and add the violins. You thought I was a psychopath when I told you I like drums. Oh yeah. So something I like to do, ask them what's your favorite instruments, kind of the low-hanging fruit, to give me a lead on what kind of beat that I want to make, what kind of elements I want to add. And she said she said drums. I'm like, so am I making a drumline beat or what? But I get it. Like, I like drums too though. It wasn't the lead that I needed to make an entire song, because of course it was gonna have drums in it. I wish I had a chance to hear both. No, you don't. The other one was a little whack. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sure I would have loved them just as much. Since I'm not really good at expressing my feelings, here's a list of some feelings. Nora, you're like an android. Don't know how to express my feelings. Here are some bullet points. Clocking off after a long day of work, untying my hair after being in a high ponytail the whole day. I know that feeling. Walking alone on the beach at night under a full moon. The moment right before you fall asleep. That's really not, the fact that you could even feel anything or have your imagination paint you some kind of picture, it really makes me happy and more. But anyway, thank you so much for creating such a beautiful song for me. I'm really happy I got to know you, and that's likewise.